Welcome everybody. How are you doing today? It's so very nice to have you here. Our 3-week program begins this Sunday, and I wanted to give you a very short and a very practical example of how we can apply the understanding of karma, destiny, free will in our day-to-day life, moment by moment. I often speak about karma, destiny in a very simplified way because this can be so complex and so overwhelming even. So I try to simplify it and really bring it to the bottom line, which is karma, destiny means cause and effect. When something has been set in motion, it has to come to fruition. Once something begins, once it's set in motion, once it begins, it has to come to fulfillment at some point. And I also often speak about how when we are really here, when we are really present, then that moment, in that moment, we really are outside of the laws of cause and effect. That moment of presence is how we can step out of karma, destiny, or cause and effect. So let's say there are certain circumstances in your life, and in response to that, a tendency of the past arises that shows up in your experience. It shows up in your physiology as fear or anxiety or certain kinds of thoughts or certain kinds of feelings or emotions. And, in that moment when you are noticing that, you are aware of the physiological sensations of that. Maybe there's a tightening in your diaphragm, a pit in the stomach, as we say, or maybe there's a lot of energy in your body, or whatever the symptoms are, right? These symptoms have their own momentum. This is the momentum of the past, right? Remember, when something has been set in motion, this has been set in motion a while back. And now it just arises in response to the circumstances. And, sometimes I say it's like the vortex of the past. It pulls our attention. It pulls our attention. And so if not careful, we are going to go with that. And going with that means repetition. It means that's how the past recharges itself. That's how it continues to exist. That's how it remains strong, or even grows stronger. I hope we can hear that without judgment, just factually, right? Or we have the opportunity to come into the present. And so instead of just following that, vortex of the past, that momentum of the past, we can come and open your eyes. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice your feet on the ground. Notice the weight of your body where you are sitting. Good, beautiful. And even just that moment, when you are opening your eyes, when you are bringing your attention to sensations, you can notice that something begins to slow down in your experience. That your attention is not so much following that vortex of the past anymore. Beautiful, beautiful. And you begin to enter the present moment. Good, beautiful, beautiful. And so, in this moment, you can notice what that is like, the relaxation, the ease, maybe your perception has changed, maybe you see things differently right now in the environment. Good, beautiful. And so coming into the present, you see, immediately we are stepping out of the past. We are stepping out of that vortex of the past. Most of the time, the past subsides or disappears completely when you are present. And in this moment, and that's what it means, in this moment we are outside of the karma destiny, cause and effect, right? We are outside of that because in this moment, right now, right here, we are not affected by anything, you see? Good, beautiful. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and this may be a much more practical way to understand, this karma destiny and being outside of karma destiny, the present moment. So please join me in our upcoming program. New to me students come for free for the first week, or we have a special price for all 3 weeks for new students. And if you like these videos, please subscribe, comment, and like. It really helps us to share this with more people so more people can benefit from this.